Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to an Ulti-World Send It Back. This is Ben Katz and myself, Rowan McDonnell, and we're just going through another classic Breeze Empire matchup. For a couple years, the Breeze would consistently get the better of the Empire in these really close, fantastic finishes, but I'm going to let Ben Katz introduce a little bit of the backstory to this game.
This game, about halfway through the season, we're feeling good about where we are as the Empire, undefeated. But every game against the Breeze somehow is a nail biter. So we're ready for your specific offense. We're ready for your specific defense, and we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, no, it's funny just because I think even before you're on the Empire, there was a streak of 2 or 3 years where every single Breeze Empire game was the carbon copy of like one team goes up, the losing team either scores 4 straight or the winning team just gives the other team the opportunity. And then at the end, New York always found a way to like lose a heartbreaker. So there must have been 5 or 6 one-goal games that the Breeze beat the Empire with. So we'll see how this one ends. I won't tell you if this is the first time watching, but I highly recommend it, especially the end. Okay. Sweet. And I guess a little more backstory, Ben. Do you want to kind of bring it back to how we met and how we are kind of now on screen together? Little 2013 roots.
Yeah, for sure. Way back, Ironside tryouts 2013. Rowan shows up. No one knows who he is. I remember one specific play. You just roofed an entire pile in the corner, and we were like, oh, okay, that kid's probably making the team. And then there I was, a practice player for Ironside that year, and you were on the squad, and then a little Garuda love.
And then the real magic started in 2014. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
We got an opening pull here.
Ooh.
No. The first one's the hardest. The first one's the hardest. We'll settle down. But yeah, no, Jeff catches everything, so we're not too worried.
Yeah. No, that's just a fluke.
That's a fluke. But yeah, it was cool to connect with you in 2014 on Garuda. It's kind of that I was watching this a little bit. I just remember you as the O-line cutter, like the first cutter, and then now you really started to kind of become known as almost a D-line handler. What was that switch, and when did all that start to happen?
So the handler switch was just instantly when I got to New York. For some reason, they were like, hey, you're going to handle now, which I soon found out is just so much easier than cutting. You run so much, like, I don't understand. Oh, Bo really set that one up for me.
Yeah, that was reminiscent of his semifinal hammer against that guy.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a tough one, too. But no, yeah, I've been trying to get behind the disc a lot, but no luck. They keep sending me downfield, but I'll be there one day. That's my dream.
You just got to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, good to know. All right, so we got the disc back naturally. And one thing, I guess, if you're watching a little more of just a Breeze backstory, is this O-line is pretty new this year, and we just, for some reason, have kind of an eclectic mix of players and personalities, and we just played really efficient offense all season. I mean, you're going to see a few turns today, but this was one of the O-lines in the last 4 years I can remember that I was on that just became better as a group, which was cool. So you got your Max Castles and Garrett's, the two-way players. Nate Pryor, you'll see him just be the best handler possibly in the country right now. Jared had a huge role for us, and then me and Jeff were just trying to get some space downfield. So it wasn't the scariest. I don't know what like New York's idea or vision of our offense was, but I just felt like we did enough as a team.
Yeah, I mean, something that your offense did is just hit people that were open. You know, if someone flashed a lane, like me, for instance, if I ran away from my guy,
Yeah.
you guys would always see it and just move the ball no matter where, no matter to who, and that was incredibly hard to guard.
Yeah, I really think I mean, especially with the big field in the AUDL, I just think that possession offense is going to make, like, not a resurgence, that's the wrong word, but it just should be all possession. My cousin watches a lot of our games, and he's got a great ultimate mind, and he's like, you don't really need to huck it and throw contested throws. You can literally just possess it the entire time with all the space. So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of what our offense did. I have maybe a couple huck turns here, but I honestly didn't huck that much. That's pretty. That's so unnecessary. Why don't you just play
It doesn't
offense
make
and
any
you can
sense.
score? It's like a leading
But he
hammer.
nailed
Great
it.
throw. Great throw. Leading hammer to the opposite side. But
Yeah. And you can see it perfectly in this replay.
yeah.
But I don't know why he just decides the hammer is necessary. But
He's got to go
nailed it.
backhand. It could just be a blade backhand there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
I
he's the
agree.
MVP.
Like,
He's the MVP, so he can do what he wants.
exactly. Um,
But yeah.
just if you're out there just holding on to the disc and hitting the 100% throws, it's so hard to get a D on it. And
Yeah.
we had several possessions against Philly. We were up by enough that we were like, hey, let's just see how long we can hold it. And we had one possession that lasted 4.5 minutes, I believe, of just
Jeez.
us
Yeah.
swinging the disc around and them chasing us forever, and it was brutal for them. And like,
I've
why
always
not do it for
wondered.
the whole quarter?
Yeah. Now I've always wondered when like Ultimate's gonna go backwards a little bit more. I don't know. It's weird with the clock, and I I think that's one untapped potential of getting an edge. So I guess a small little thing for the game too is we brought Joe Richards, number 11, onto offense for his. This is his first time he played. Oh, he's just one of those incredible receivers. He doesn't have the most experience as like a thrower. So I just remember this game. It almost felt like you guys were almost not guarding him. I don't know if it was just part of the junk defense, but I remember Joe was like always kind of open, and I don't know if you did that on purpose. That was a question I always wanted to ask.
I don't remember specifically keying on him. It seems likely that he's the one on the ground there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's a pretty big guy. Jeff might have been on him a lot. Jeff might have been like, I don't really need to worry about him and try to hunt other places. But yeah, that's what I'm saying with you guys. Just you found an open person, no matter where, no matter who it was, and you would hit them, and that was great.
Yeah, no, it was interesting, but Joe definitely makes a couple plays here where it's like, oh, he could be so good. He's on the verge of like if he commits to it, he's gonna be nice, but we'll see if he does. So
Yeah,
all right, little pressure here, a lot of pressure. Good throw.
yeah. Our offense would just have bouts of not really being able to do much, and then we just send it to Benny.
Yeah, that's yep. Again, he just catches
Yeah,
everything.
like why not?
Did he stop turning the disc over as much this year? Like, what was one of his jumps? I feel like as an opponent, it was like he's always going to be good, but maybe this year he just didn't give up the disc as much. Did he get good at other things too? Like, I know he's a great player, but I'm just trying to find like the jump. What would you say his jump was?
I mean, I think, yeah, definitely he was trying to cut down on the turns. He was taking less risky shots throughout the course. He can still he'll say it himself. He can do a little better in that. But also just, I mean, the supporting cast that we got around him. You added Jack Williams. You added Grant Lindsley. that takes a lot of pressure off of Benyat.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And they both, like, Grant and Jack can also world-class throwers. So now Ben's got, like,
Mhm.
a lot. He's got Harper. He's got all those throwers. So,
Yep.
okay. Yeah. We're also, like, loose and fun. Like, Max is gonna throw some cool stuff. Garrett's got maybe one of the best scoopers in the league. I'll throw a couple fun ones. So I kind of like, you know, we make it work. We make it work. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And that's Nate
And
Pryor.
we're just
Any young man.
losing people.
Okay, gotcha. Like individual, yeah. So yeah, any young handlers out there, watch number 43 kind of move around. He's consistently putting the disc where it needs to be. He kind of
Mm-hmm.
he kind of has a mind like you, Ben. I would say. Nate, he just sees the game a little bit different, but it's more like offensively. Offensively, he sees that space. So
Yeah, I mean, I think two of the most underrated things are just completion percentage and hitting unders, like hitting open unders. And Nate's not one to huck it a ton, but he does, and he hits when he does. But I think he's criminally underrated because it's not highlight.
yeah, oh yeah, oh for sure. And speaking of highlights, yeah, back-to-back crossfield hammers, and then 40-yard under. That's good.
Yeah,
That's
that
good
was a
offense.
huge under, and then Jack just boost. Like that's offense right there.
That is good. I remember one time I was like, "Yo, Daryl, can I get a deep point? Can I play defense?" He's like, "All right." I was like, "Can I get Jack? Can I get Jack?" And he's like, "Play good defense, like no coaching." And then pull goes up, I come down, Jack's in isolation, gets like a 45-yard under on me, and then like throws the assist. And I'm like, damn. So I felt that pain many times. So
Yeah, he's a very good player, just all around, incredibly fast, incredibly quick, great throws, great hands, great instincts. Like it's been pretty fun to have him up in New York.
yeah, it's tough for us. He gets a lot of love behind the disc as a handler. I feel
Mhm.
I don't know. That's one thing I noticed. I was like, he's unstoppable downfield, but he's also good at being around the disc. All right, side stack left. Look, this is my first center of the year. I get the center. I never get a center, and I just kick it back to the break side
Oh,
handler,
right
which is
back
the
to
worst
me.
spot in the field. That's why I don't get the center. Oh, that was so bad. And I'm always asking for him. I'm always asking. So
See, if you get the opportunity, you just gotta put it no matter what.
yeah, that's
Oh,
fair. That's fair.
and then look,
Or
you're running
you can get the
downfield.
center. Yeah, I mean, I think the center was just a decoy. They're like, oh, the center handler's not going to go deep. But no. Yeah, I would say deep cutter first and foremost. So I'm always trying to go deep.
This one I got a
And Garrett,
shoelace on.
what's that? Oh, what is yours? But yeah, Garrett, who just threw that, he's up and coming. He's gonna be nice.
Mm-hmm.
He's like one of those. Sure. Yeah. Like Garrett Braun, he's one of those kids that lives 2 hours away from like the Ultimate City. He like kind of lives in a smaller Ultimate City, Richmond, Virginia. So we're always like trying to get him, and we finally got him to come this year or last year. This game's 2019. So we got Garrett, and life is good, and he's going to be a huge part of our offense if the season kicks up this year or the next time we get to play. So
Nice. That's always great to get someone bought in enough to drive multiple hours both ways. It's incredible. And for us,
yeah,
it's BJ lives in
yeah,
northern Connecticut, drives 3+ hours to practice every time, drives 3+ hours back, and he's He's always thinking about ultimate. He's always calling people during the rides, getting new
Yeah.
perspectives, getting new ideas, and it's great.
No, I've heard
And
good
here
things.
again, Benny just going up and over.
I mean, it's that cut too that Empire makes. I love right to the sideline and then right deep down the sideline, and then y'all just throw that OI right down. So we know it's coming. I don't know why we're biting on that break cut so much. Gotta be a little more disciplined. So, all right, let's see what kind of offense we got here. Yeah, we run the side stack a lot. Oh, I thought I was gonna get the center again. No, I got fired. Oh, a little flood to the left. So that's Garrett Braun right there. Okay, yeah. So we'll introduce kind of our offense here. That's Nate Pryor with the disc up to Joe Richards. So this is I dropped this one. So that's a drop. That's a drop. That's on me. And the instant timeout to get the offense in.
Immediate timeout.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts as a defensive player when you hear that going on?
Oh, I hate it. I always want to play offense, especially against these tired offenders. No one on O-line wants to play defense. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Benny, and then that happens.
The offense. I hate when that happens. I've been in their shoes. The offense comes in after the timeout, and then just a turnover. So, yeah, you gotta trust them.
I mean, I think it's a great rule of the AUDL. Like being able to sub just makes so much sense. Oh, you really
this is your boy
Richards
here. Yeah, that's Joe. I told you he's nice. That was a hug.
That's usually.
So, first off, I never throw backhands. I had no mark, so I figured I could. But this huck is to number 33, Quinn Bergeron, right there. It was going to be an IO to the left side. So I missed the throw by a mile, and then Joe comes in. So.
And that's one Harper Garvey is outrageously underrated as an athlete. And like he's fast, he's big, he jumps. And that's one that I saw him going deep, and I thought, okay, Harp's there, he'll get it. And then your boy went right over him. It was impressive.
Yeah. No, he's top. He can probably he's top 3 on the team of high pointing anything, I would say. He's probably up around Babbitt. I think so. We'll see.
Ooh, that's
bold. I know you're biased. All right. A couple misses.
It was back to back. And then so for the kids watching, that's the MVP, and he missed a couple there, but you'll see him further on the sideline. He'll be throwing that for the rest of the game on the sideline, trying to pick it back up, which is just keep on going, guys.
Because he had a million assists, I think, this game. All right, so we just did the offense switch, and let's see if this works for us. I think I know where this is headed. Something I've never seen in Ultimate ever. So check this one out.
All right.
You
tell us what's
going through your mind. You know he's throwing that. Can you break down that play from your perspective? Yeah, that's one of the best defensive plays I've seen.
So they're about to hit a replay of it. So Nate, I know, has that backhand, and he hit me with it earlier in the game, and I just missed it. I know he has it. And so if you see here, he points to the break side in a second. And so I know which way he wants to go. So I take a little shift to the left. So I know he has to throw the backhand now. And as soon as he puts that wind up, I know where it's coming. I know how he likes to do it. I'm trying to get there.
Jeez, no, that shift left to make him throw that backhand, that's something I've never even thought of. That's the good, wow. That's next level. That's crazy. All right.
Are you writing that down?
Absolutely. Got my notebook out. I'm actually going to try to open up the YouTube chat and see if anybody's talking. So that's my project. So if you're in the chat, I'll try my best to answer some questions with Ben, and yeah, make it a little bit more interactive. So offense comes back out, easy one here. I'm in. My left hand hits. I was like, come on, but we'll take it.
All right, I
I don't
saw
have that
you
many layouts.
score, so I slowed down and let you get the assist.
I appreciate it. That's just only fair. That's a great throw from Joe, who we were talking about his
That's
throwing
nice.
earlier. But yeah, I don't lay out that much anymore. I really don't. So I was a little, I was like, come on, please.
I did it. I have to reward me.
Yeah, but that's fine. Scuba goal is fine too. So
Yeah.
put the scuba in your arsenal. If you're not throwing it, you don't have to throw it far, but it opens everything up. So.
Man, the scuba is a throw that I've just never figured out. I don't know how to throw it.
Really?
Yeah, and
Don't you play
PJ's.
Ultimate all the time? Aren't you a
Yeah, but I
Ultimate?
can't throw the. I love Goldie. I wish Goldie
Well,
was the main event, but
yeah, I know. I
just
know.
the scuba escapes me. I'm not sure why.
That's wild. Interesting.
So what do we got here? We got one from Pavel, who's just lives on Ulti-World Live, I think, and
Yeah.
he's asking if we're upset that we won't be able to get interdivision or same division matchups now that you abandoned us.
Oh, absolutely. But in the same, like, I have no idea what the schedule is, but luckily they put an Empire Breeze game scheduled for this year. But yeah, I'll definitely miss this, especially now that the Empires get so much love and they got their championship. So now I just want to play them even more. Our team is also building. This would have been the probably first year in a few where we have almost 100% people coming back. We have some huge pickups, and yeah, I just miss these games. They're just like always wild. The Dross brothers are always flying around. It's like it's just special for sure. Pavitt's always out there, throwing. So yeah, I will miss the Breeze Empire games, but I hope that we can continue to play like cross division game.
Yep, yep, I agree. I really enjoyed all the games we played against you. I mean, for me and you in particular, we have that history, so it's a great time to see you. Anytime I see you and play against you, and here we have me on you.
Oh yes.
See
Oh,
what
so
happens.
this is fun.
Oh, I
So
switched off
you just
immediately.
think it's smart. That's good. That's good. Just kind of.
Oh, and then this one,
Oh
Jeff.
yeah. Let's go. I told you, Joe gets up.
Jeff just thought he would
How
go
come
at
you left?
15 feet instead of his goal.
Yeah. And then does his like spin pop up, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think you've blown a Simon in the famous New York Empire junk D right there. Doesn't happen
Oh
often.
well, it's if you notice, Bo switched on to you. Bo's a little old at this point. He takes his
Yeah.
time
Oh
getting
no,
to places.
I've noticed.
So,
I've noticed.
yeah.
So,
But on that one,
he can generate.
I clear out. I see Jeff coming, and I don't want to be anywhere near it. I'm gonna clean up that garbage because Jeff is
Yeah.
incredible at avoiding the other team. He has incredible body control and will do everything in his power to not hit the other guy. But
Yeah.
he has less care if it's his teammate.
It's
So I was getting out of there.
good friends with that college history and friendship. He does not care
Yeah.
about you. Oh, that was a great switch almost. Alex Lou on the mark here. Oh, that throw and go and get
Perfect.
separation. You know how hard it is to throw a forehand throw and go and get separation on. It's like that's come on. I think
That's
they
what I'm
show the
saying.
replay.
Harper, this replay is one
Look
of
at
the
this
best things I've ever seen, too.
right there. Like you put the weight in that right foot and just take off. it's really hard to throw an accurate flick when you're doing that. So I love that move.
And watch
I think I
this
watched
precision to our concession man Snoop here. Harp hits him right in the
Oh,
chest too.
no way. Oh, the blade.
Look at that.
That's classic.
But that's
I
what I
would
was
love
saying
to.
earlier. Harper's just got that step. He's got a strong body, so if you get on the wrong side of him, you're not going to get back on the right side. And yeah, he's got a lot of talents more than the cannon he has.
Yeah. And yeah. Okay. We got Yacht and Grant on defense and Grant matchup here.
And the quarter scenario here.
Oh, I see. The thing about playing against Grant, which is tough, is that you don't have to be the fastest or quickest. You just gotta like keep working and running and cutting, and like Grant can do that too. So it's like I would never have a problem getting open on somebody because if they shut me down or if they're faster or quicker, that's fine. I'll just run a mile. But like Grant's fast and quick and also like runs miles. So it's like
And he is a specimen. He's every off season he tries to run at least a 5 minute mile, and not really training for it, but just going out there running a mile after doing his normal workouts, and he's nailed it every single season, which is pretty absurd.
yeah, no, that's quick. Who's the fastest player on Empire? 50 yards.
That is a hotly discussed one.
Who puts their name at number one? Like who?
I mean, you got Jeff up there for sure, and he'll tell everyone that. And
Okay.
something about Jeff, I mean, he's a big guy. He's not as tall as everyone thinks he is, but
Jeez.
he doesn't look like
Yeah.
he's moving particularly fast. But he gets
Yeah.
going.
Okay. It's
So
quick.
Grant's got to be in there. Jack's probably in there. I mean, this year we have Chris now.
Chris is quick. What about the Dross twins? Are they in the conversation, or are they just a little bit slower now? I mean, they get tons of
You
block.
know, they're probably not at the top, but the thing about them that they're at the very top is they never give up. And you'll be
Sure.
chasing down a huck, and they'll be 3 yards, 4 yards behind, and anyone else would give up, and they're just chugging, and somehow get a hand in there, which is incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. All right. What do we got? Oh, Fury, right? Yeah, we run that a lot. So Josh plays me different than everybody else. He just does not let me come back under, which he's just consistently forcing me deep, and it gives me lots of trouble, I would say. I get a few on him this game, but for the amount of times where he's disrupted what I'm trying to do, it's definitely worth it. And that's a little miscommunication there.
Joshie Aloro is an incredible athlete. Just can put his head down and go, and he's a very physical defender as well, and will just stick with you no matter what. So I'm not surprised that that frustrates you.
Well, it's just like the uniqueness, and I think that's where Ultimate needs to be played defensively. Is you just need to stand in front of your player and force them out. There's so many more chances for a turnover deep. Getting back is the easiest thing a cutter could ask for. There's so much to do with it. So I respect defenders that are like, go deep, like do it. And
I kind of like you in particular. Some cutters we enjoy having the disc in their hands and don't enjoy them going deep that much. But you got the throw, so you want the disc in your hand.
More respect for Laura with that 25-yard scooper. So it's a tough miss, but gotta love it. So.
And there,
Who do you
I
guard
don't
in?
know if you caught that. I jumped real hard on Nate's backhand again, and then he hit the around. So
Okay.
Nate
I
adjusts,
told you,
which is
chess match.
great.
Chess match. Oh, look at that. Right through the double team with the same throw. I'm telling you, he's special. Love this movement.
Yeah, I don't actually know Nate particularly well. We have good talks when we're playing against each other, but I very much enjoy playing against him, chasing after
Yeah.
him, and trying to stop him.
Who do you guard? Let's see. We'll finish this point, and then I have a question for you. I I've thrown maybe 4 hammers in my entire life, but I use the hammer fake, once a point. So the
The classic
fake to throw
cricket.
ratio. Yeah, no. Well, of course, like cricket, I try to model my game off him. But
Yeah,
yeah, this is one of my favorite throws here. Just like sneaks it through. Caught Jeff
yeah.
sleeping. Jeff sleeping.
Mm.
Sleeping.
Yeah, that quick release is a good throw. Everyone expects you to set up a little more, but if you hit it with that quick release, it gets there before they can think about it.
Yeah. No, especially it's like Harper's forehand was incredible. It's a little bit easier here on the backhand. You can just launch it. So, but yeah.
Let's see, we got anything
Jeff
else
sleep.
on this chat here? No, we got
Oh, I was
a
gonna ask
question from
you
Sean.
who? I
He
was just
says,
kidding.
Rowan,
Love you, Sean.
do you think your odd release points and unexpected throws make it harder to predict as a receiver?
Um, no, I think some of my throws, like I throw that really blady OI break that's becoming really popular. It's like that. If you're new to playing with me, that could be a weird throw. But I think I do enough like obvious fakes, and sometimes I even fake too much that I don't think the odd throws present too much of a challenge. And I don't bring out too much in games. I'll throw the scuba and maybe a push pass here and there, but I don't think I would get too risky with my trick throws or release points to confuse my own team. But we'll see. Good question.
I also think just like getting to play with people more, getting the chemistry with them. Like your receivers know where you want to put it, how you're going to get it there, and like there's actually a bit of a spoiler here. This is the 6th week I've played with Grant, so not a whole lot, but I like a little low release IO backhand, and
Oh,
Grant didn't necessarily know that at this point, so. To
we'll
Keegan,
see.
I think he was trying to get at you, but he kind of got at me a little there, and we'll see that later on. Though.
Yeah, no, that's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, and also kind of going back, or my question for you before I forget: who do you guard in practice? What are your matchups? Who do you like guarding on the Empire O line?
So it kind of depends. For Empire specifically, I really go back and forth between O line and D line. In games, just depending on how the flow of the game is. In practice, depending on the numbers and what we're working on that day. Oh, bro.
Yeah, I
This
missed
D
that
from
one.
Marquez,
So
sir.
I know. I shouldn't have thrown at Marquez like that. Well, it should have been a blade. I'm not trying to hang the disc up near Marquez. He's incredible. I remember asking Nicky, who played with Marquez in Philly. I was like, what's Marquez like as a player? He's like, he's unstoppable in the lane. He can do whatever he wants. And then ever since then, like every January, I email him like, hey, you want to play in DC? You want to play in DC? So for the past 4 years, I've gotten like turned down, but I'm happy that he's playing kind of at the high level. I think he's a great player.
Yeah, we were very happy to have Marquez with us for what this would have been the 3rd year now, and
Yeah,
with Pony as well. It was really fun to play with him and watch him grow. And now Harper does some
That's
crazy
like the
stuff. But
same flight path that I just drew.
yeah.
He had a
He
backhand
said
force
if
when
you
that
did.
came off.
But in
He's
practice, so I don't like trying to lock people down. If you haven't
yeah.
noticed, so
Oh
me against Harper, me against Grant, like it doesn't really make sense because they'll just go get it and do damage. So I try to put myself on off receivers, off handlers, especially. And then another crazy thing. This part was wild.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a particular matchup. I also like to just let everyone else decide what they want to do. And if a number is not being said, I'll just say it without even looking who's up there. But
Yeah. I played team defense. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was a tough hammer.
And you see that again. Just Harper got the inside shoulder, and he can't be stopped once he gets that.
Yeah. Yeah. Deceptive. Look at that. He's so smooth. That's
And
good
he just
off.
keeps going.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I've learned. I've learned not to fall into the trap of like, oh, that's Harper. He's so chill. He's so chill. But he's a killer. He knows it. He's a good player.
Mhm. And that's unfortunately another something that we've learned from cricket is milking the disc. So
Oh my
anytime I
God.
have an opportunity, I just run with it. Just where.
Oh, we made that a huge thing in DC. Just absolutely at the cost of like 3 or 4 turnovers near the end zone, like getting greedy. But I playing offense on the 1 yard line is like the hardest place in the whole field. It is my pet peeve from cricket, and you share it, to not milk it in when you can catch a goal.
Mm-hmm.
Just catch the goal. I've tried some crazy milks. Some have worked, some haven't. But I've tried to go from like 5 yards before.
That's
And
actually Matt Lamar. Love him. He's the Iron Man. He's played every game that the Empire has ever played, which is absurd. But he will not intentionally, but he will milk himself out of the end zone. He'll be
uh,
running in, about to get it in, and like it seems like he intentionally plants his foot down outside the end
yeah,
zone. Lamar, what are you doing to me? But
no, I would lose it. I would lose it. But yeah, all right, we got 10-10 here. Little tie game. Oh, that's Max. Yeah, Max is just a pure thrower. He's kind of got some Harper qualities. Like he's very quick and athletic, but the scouting report's just a great thrower. But he can move too, and he kind of plays that role well of like like a off handler or hybrid. But when he wants to, he's unstoppable. He's been the most underrated part to our offense for 3 years. 3 or 4 years. All right, deep point here. Let's see it. I'm got the
with the
pull
pull
and the
too.
defense. I don't remember this point, but let's see how if I actually play the defense. So let's see what
It's
happens,
a good
or let's see
pull.
who I guard. Yeah, good pull. I've been working on my pulls. Who do I got?
Oh, you're
Oh,
on
Ben.
Benny.
Got the Ben messed up. Oh, could have got that. Oh, look
Ooh.
at that defense. That's a great mark. It's a great mark.
It's a good mark. Really nice. Former MVP on an MVP mark. You know.
Now my mark is like probably my worst skill, I would say. I think it's the hip mobility. I just like can't mark well. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just never. But I've been working on it lately. Well, it's a little Harper.
That's good.
Harper.
Yeah, I mean marking to me is just kind of low hanging fruit. you have to deny the entire side, and in the ADL especially, it's very difficult. But like, it's part of the team game. It's if you're setting a good mark, it's so much easier for the defenders downfield and just yeah.
Yeah. Nice little spike there. AJ Merriman, he's up and coming. He's nice. And then if you see it here, I think he's calling for it, right? And when you call for it, you got to catch it. Rule number one in
Yeah,
ultimate. So he gets this low one and then makes the play. So
yeah,
you call
yeah.
for it, you catch it, and I've never spiked it myself, but that's a pretty good one, right? That was a pretty good one.
It's not bad. Not bad.
He's
A lot of
next. He
people
also
go
I'm
for it.
sorry. Yeah. He's also got like a good up and coming YouTube vlog lifestyle. So check AJ Merriman out on YouTube. Good kid, and he'll be a great player for a lot of years. So that's it. 10-10. They said we'd never be here. They said New York was unbeatable and the best team of all time, but it's 10-10. Jack gets the center.
Then this play from Jack. Oh no.
That's wild. He was in too,
He
right?
he catches it when he's in bounds and then
Yeah.
throws that crazy thing. He was running to the sideline. You don't know what's gonna happen, but
Yeah, that was awesome, and it was extremely athletic. All right, there's the timeout here to bring the offense in, and yeah,
I don't remember
that's
what
so that's
happens
Matt.
here.
Yeah,
You go up, you take a win.
do we get the lead here? Probably, I would imagine. We don't. I don't think we got broken.
Oh no,
Oh,
we have Jeff.
yeah, and then he
And that's
goes.
just
Oh,
Jeff Babbitt being Jeff Babbitt.
yeah, you hate to see that too. Like layout block, he gets up and just starts sprinting. So,
See you later.
how's his
And I
disc
got
skills?
to. Oh, he's so much better with the disc than anyone would ever think he is. He's
Just I
just
was just wondering.
he's very conservative. He hates turnovers more than almost anything else, and he has the throws, but he doesn't want to turn it over. I think he could afford to be a little less uh, risk averse, and but he's a great thrower. And there I made sure that Lamar had to be in the end zone. He would have tried to toe outside, but if you put him 3 yards in, he can't get it.
I don't know. You threw it to his wrong shoulder. You threw that to his
Oh yeah,
back
so
shoulder.
you'll see here, I'm running out of bounds and I see him wide open. So I take a little stretch to get back in bounds, and it moved the throw a little, but he was open
Oh, okay.
enough that it was fine. You'll see it
Yeah, like
right
you might
here.
not. I noticed it. You missed it. You missed it left a little bit. Yeah, it looks normal, but that's not where you want to put that frisbee. I don't think. Just nitpick.
With no one in the zip code, he's good.
Yeah, 100 game in a row. You better catch that.
hmm
All right. Well, we're out of the
Let's
vert
see.
right now. We don't run that. Oh, so Xavier maxed that. It's fun when he hops over to the O line because I just put my head down and go. He will never look you off deep. So
hmm
it's always a treat to play with him.
That is also something that we know well. So if you see him with it, be aware.
3 people peeling off the back. Yeah, yeah. We'll still throw it further than all 3 of the help defenders.
True. And then there you got a pretty scary double team with Ben Yard and Jack Williams, and Nate just goes right around it.
Yeah, no, the thing about him, he's just not phased. Like he doesn't care. He's just like, all right, let's do it. So we'll see. 38 seconds left here. I don't want to admit it. Obviously, it hurts to say, but one thing the Empire is good at, like legitimately good at, is end of quarter possessions. You have like 5-6-5, 6-6 players. Do you know like how much of an advantage y'all have? Is it like, do you do
I
this
mean,
against
that's
other
part of
teams?
just. Oh yeah. Well, having Benny, having Jeff, like that's all you really need.
Yeah.
And we might be good. We definitely should be better, I think, at end of quarter on offense. Something I'm very upset about is our end of quarter defense. Um, like we have those big guys that you talked about, and they all love to sit in the end zone and wait for it. And the other team gets 3 quarters down the field, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's not a 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it's just a throw. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of what just happened to us. Is like
Hmm.
played regular offense just a little bit easier. So it happens. That's probably the biggest mistake in the AUDL is like the 30 to 40 second, 20 to 30 more, that awkward time of you just let the other team get outside the red zone and throw an easy throw. So
Yep, and
I don't.
that's a new facet of the game for the AUDL. Like, no one's used to a buzzer beater, no one's used to a clock in this scenario. Like, it's something that I think has yet to be really solved, and it's an exciting thing to try to solve.
Yeah, so 1.2 seconds here. Um, I actually think this one offsides or something weird happens, and then
Offside,
X
yeah.
has a free life. It's like the 1 second left. The one thing you can't do is go offsides. Somebody's
Hmm.
offsides.
And also, that's another thing. And maybe this is spilling secrets, but this is my personal thought. If you ever have less than 3 seconds left and you roll it down the middle of the field, the clock starts when they touch it. Actually, on this one, you gotta watch Ryan Drost. Ryan Drost is in the hat on the ground now. Charlie, actually, there might be a replay. Ryan Drost does all the dirty work in this one. He finds the body, he's physical with them, and he goes up and would have been able to make a play if Benny wasn't here. But Ryan Drost does all the dirty work there.
And Joe's our jumper too. So
Yep.
no, and on the ground. That's great. All right, halftime.
And
That's
here we have
halftime.
the
All right.
ice cold drum line. These
Oh,
these kids are incredible. They're at all our home games, and they fire the crowd up. They fire us up. It's awesome to watch them.
no, we've noticed them. The Marines, like we're like, oh, Empire have that sweet drum line. That's definitely like a really cool part to the experience. But it's cool to see. Is it? You play out of New York City though, right? It's like 45 minutes away.
Yeah, it's about a 40-minute drive, 40-minute train ride up in New Rochelle, which New Rochelle has done an incredible job of making a home for us. Like, this is the field we practice on, and we have all our games here. We were actually in the Thanksgiving Day parade. Um, it wasn't Thanksgiving Day, just Thanksgiving parade, which is the second biggest in New York. And we were the grand marshals with the trophy. There were thousands of
Is
people lining the streets, and it was pretty awesome to see.
I talked to Nate Pryor about this play because I was like, so I'm getting fronted by Aloro like usual. So I feel like I'm open deep, and what Nate does, Nate knows I'm open. He knows
Mm,
he's throwing it, but he's using his eyes to freeze the help
cut
defender.
off.
So when he faked with the disc here, like he knew where it was going, but it's just like those things some players have. Like, that's just on the next level. So
He
he's like, I want
also,
to throw.
big thing is he put it towards the sideline. And on this size field, I was that help defender. I saw you about to go deep, and I thought that Nate's not known for those hucks. I didn't think he would pull the trigger as late as he did, but I would never have been able to get across that entire field.
Yeah, but it's also we don't see that many. Like if so, I get the isolation cut a bit. I don't think I can remember how many times I've gotten an ISO cut with no junk or help. So it's like I gotta make the most out of this situation. So It's a rare.
And yeah, I'm
All right,
sure
so
that's something that we never. Oh, this was an outrageous catch. Don't
yeah,
know how he got
and
up from it. And he throws that crazy scuba.
do you? It was, yeah. This was a weird one. I've been on the same like end of it, but like I don't know who changes direction more. So like it, I don't know. Let me take a look to see.
Yeah, this is
The
a
scuba was
very
nice.
hard one. Like Benny goes up into a place where your guy had no idea that someone would try to be catching it at that level, and
Yeah,
so I don't blame him. I think it is a foul. I think they should have called a foul and given him the yards, but um, I don't think it's a dangerous play on his part. It's just like happened to be there at the same time and didn't know it.
yeah. I mean, this he starts to heat up now. Maybe he used that, but I know he gets hot this half. That scuba is pretty nice to kick it off. So
Just complaining to the ref about not getting a foul and casually throwing a 25-yard scuba.
yeah, that is pretty sweet. Except the complaining part, but nah, just kidding. He's about to score like 10 goals this half. Uh, oh, licked off. My pet peeve. It's getting licked off.
Mm-hmm.
Oof,
Oh, and then
that's a
Jeff's
crazy.
coming in hot on that one.
Yeah.
Anytime you see Jeff put down his head and start to put a little more oomph in that step, I feel nervous for the other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. Well, that's what ultimate is like going 50% then 100%. Like you don't always want to be going 80%. That's just like the
Yep.
worst possible thing. So yeah, that's a cool block. I
Uh,
remember that one.
that's sweet.
Like that's
That
why
one,
you gotta take
Albert.
that. Seal them up.
Albert as a lefty, Albert Alicon, great player, very intelligent player. And as a lefty, you always expect that around flick to be available. And
Yeah.
yeah,
He
Lodash
just took it
did a
wide.
nice job
He
of
just went.
going with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If he can find the defender. Here's just funny. I think missed it, but here now I'm starting to mope and whine. Bo's getting handsy. He's so handsy. He's always
Oh yeah.
fouling.
Oh yeah.
Always fouling. And so I was like, come on. And then um, it is what it is. That's why I'm mad there. So, all right, 13.
But we called timeout there. Yeah. See if it works better this time. And that's something that playing with Grant, if I'm ever picking up the disc or starting a play and I know Grant's the first cutter, I can just look downfield for as long as I want because I know he'll be open onto the
Oh,
under.
sure.
And
Yeah,
it's just such a luxury.
yeah. So I brought the chat up so I can be a little bit more engaging. Gabe asked which players can dunk on each team. Oh, what do we got here? So, you and Harper got that connection. That's the third or
Oh
fourth.
yeah. I
So,
mean,
who
that's
can dunk on that?
who can dunk on the Empire? I mean, Jeff, I've seen stand under a hoop, 2-footed, jump up, dunk, catch it, jump up, dunk, catch it, jump up, dunk, catch it, over and over and over, which is just terrifying. He's the thing that he couldn't quite do, which he'll be upset I'm saying, is he never got the honey dip. He could get
Oh,
to like here, but he couldn't get the full honey dip. Um,
and
well,
who is your favorite
Benny can
record?
dunk.
Yeah, Benny for sure. Marquez?
Marquez, I wouldn't be surprised, but I haven't seen him much on the basketball court.
Yeah, interesting.
Now this is also a thing. Like everyone reacts very poorly to bricks. Like if you throw a brick, it's a travesty. And I often think that it's not that bad. You can get your defense in exactly the position they want to be. The offense doesn't have momentum going against the defense. If you can
Oh
set
yeah,
up your defense to prevent this, like that's bad. But
that
um,
yeah,
a brick
that's just an
isn't as
example.
bad as everyone.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of sold, but that's again, that's when I'm getting fronted, and that cut. Um, if you noticed, I'm just putting my hand up because I already have him sealed under, and so I'm not even running into the cut. Max is just leading me to space, so that's kind of how I started cutting in the second half, getting fronted by Aloro, and it worked out pretty well. I was just like standing deep, so there's no help, and just like lead me. There's no defenders on this side of me, so it's like a thrower initiated cutting, and it worked out well, I think, for us.
And that's something that I would love to see more. It's just not necessarily just trust throws, but if you and a thrower can get on the same page of just where you're going, where they're putting it, it'll be so hard to defend.
Yeah, and this was a killer for us. We get the disc on the 1 yard line. I remember that one. We didn't have that many turns. You guys were super clean for a while, and just to get the disc on the one, brutal. Little double move here, gets open, and it's a miss.
So
Uh, Tough one here. I think Sam Brecker there, William Mary. I think he broke his finger and was out for the year off that play. So
you do that.
that was a tough one.
But yeah, that's just actually Matty Tang last night on the Send It Back was talking about defining moments in the games, and that certainly could have been a huge difference. Now we're up 15-13, could have been 14s, and that makes a difference.
Yeah.
And this is a
You
great throw
think?
from Jack, just leading
Yeah.
Jabron.
That's what
And
I
Jibs
love
is
the IO. You think it was a
mhm.
surprise to see him on the national team? I mean, he's a great player, but I know he. What do you think?
No, that's not surprising to me at all. He's an incredible for the year before this game, 2018. He was on our O line for Empire, and he was an outstanding cutter. He would get huge unders all the time, no matter who was on him. He was great. And then in the Toronto game we had, uh, we or that was this. I don't know. Jibs is a beast. He's an incredible
Yeah,
defender. He's
I'm curious.
incredibly athletic. He's great with the disc. He has great hands. I'm not surprised at all that he made the team.
Yeah, no, he's been playing against us for years, but he doesn't get the same, at least like the name brand as the other like all stars. So, just curious. I don't think I've matched up with him too much. So here we go. Down to we got Matt Neely on the O line now. He came over and had a great game. He's out of Richmond right now too, but um, he had a really good game for us. He started the vault team with a few of our team. The Breeze kind of consisted of a few different club teams. Um, so yeah, some of those vault players really kind of were huge pieces for us. So keep an eye there. I should just kick that one to the break side. I always catch it and look open side again. That's actually a break, but that's him. So that's Matt
Eventually,
Neely, number 8. Yeah. No, that's good. So yeah.
I mean that's something that I've actually been trying to utilize for the Empire right now. Is we have all this incredible footage thanks to the AUDL, and it's just such a privilege to have that. And if you watch yourself play, you're going to learn so much about what you do and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And just, I find it to be incredible. So you see there for yourself, you catch it and always look to the open side. And if you
Yeah.
just know that next time you're playing, I'm catching and I'm looking break no matter what. And it's just that way you get get those good habits in.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, for sure. All right, sides. What do you got here? Just send Ben deep.
I mean, just with this O line, we can do any
You see him
combination
come
of
back.
things.
You see him come back for 30 yards. He just
Mm-hmm.
runs deep
Mm-hmm.
for 60, comes back for 30. I mean, that's hard to stop. Uh-oh.
Yep.
One there.
Ooh.
Oop, a bit low. Hate to see that. Good throw.
And there's Jibbs again, just a kind of
Yeah,
trailing away
it's
from him
everywhere.
catch that he handles nice and easy. Has a great swing to the other side, resets the offense.
Oh,
Harper
that's
and Elliott. Elliott Lee, just a personal favorite of mine. He was at UMass when I was at UMass. He was a little younger, but he's a great guy. He's in Chicago now. Pablo, you better treat him right. Um, incredible violinist. He actually did the national anthem before this game, and
yeah,
hearing him
yeah.
play violin is one of the best things I've ever experienced.
No, yeah, we were there for that. It was like extremely impressive. So, yeah, yeah.
And just a
Harper
great
again,
frisbee
the
player.
end zone.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
That's the
just,
thing. Harper. I mean, everyone knows he has the throws, those insane hammers, but he's got that nose for the end zone too. And sometimes we let him loose as a cutter, and he can't be stopped because everyone expects him to be in the backfield. He goes downfield, and he's too fast, too strong. And here we have a rare offsides on the offense, which is wild.
I'm not gonna ask to rewind to see who it
Was it
is,
you?
but like, come on,
Was it you, Rob?
it man. I would nah. I'm pretty disciplined on the offsides. It's probably one of those young ones. If I had to bet, I bet it was Matt Neely. So this
Oh,
one's just another. This was another thrower initiated hand up, high stall kind of
you get
cut.
upset here.
Yeah, then I throw like
Everyone's running
a
away
very
from
upset
you.
throw. Yeah, I think everybody ran away from me. I was like, "Help a friend, please. Help a friend." Uh, but yeah, so high stall here, and
Let's get
then
rid of it.
that's right where I want it. So I can get off my right foot. That's why I make that swerve because I don't want to jump off my left foot. So I cut across the field so I can come up on my left, and then
You're a
throw.
right leg jumper.
Oh,
I
every
don't think
time.
I knew
That's all.
that.
No, it's right leg, left hand every single time. So
So you got the
that's why.
lefty leg.
What's that?
In basketball, I mean, I know you love the ball, but like, are you all
Yeah,
lefty at the rim?
I finished lefty a lot. Either hand, but yeah, if I'm dunking, it's with my left hand for sure, or both
Oh,
hands.
if I'm dunking, you know.
If it's one of those days, if it's a good day, I know. Oh,
And here's just Jack pulling back on one, and Grant making it look
jeez.
more fun by not landing on his feet.
Yeah, that was just like a drill in practice. Let me just throw a 50-50 full power backhand huck. That's literally a drill. That's funny. But it's a good catch.
Yeah, nice read from Grant. Good control. And both of those players, just world class players, and when you get to play with each other, it's hard to stop.
Too many cooks, though. I think a too many cook problem a little bit in New York. The club division. So I don't know. Maybe there
Yeah,
was a little too many. Well, actually, you didn't even have Jack. Maybe you needed Jack.
yeah, maybe that's the key.
Maybe you'll get
But
Jack
yeah,
in the future.
that's definitely a big part of it. Is I think Revolver had a bit of an issue in 2018 when we beat them in the finals. I mean, John Stubbs, outrageously talented player, got
Yeah,
3 or 4 points in that game.
I know. Playing every other
And
D point. I remember that.
yeah, this is something that an embarrassment of riches isn't always a good thing. You got to learn how to get them all going. You have to get them to understand that it's not going to be all on them anymore.
No, that's true. All right. Oh, what we got here? All right, Harper's got the center. So there goes Yacht every time, trying to draw a few. Gets Grant
Must have
wide
got
open.
someone.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And then Grant with those fakes. Those again,
That
kids
backhand.
watching this. You watch those fakes. If you fake, you open up the entire field.
Yeah, no, he has a special backhand fake. He also throws it too, which is even like there.
There it
You
goes.
got to throw your fakes.
Which that one was to Jack, who was cutting wide open, but then he sees it go up,
And
makes a
so
nice play, and steals the assist.
if you can catch it, catch it. I think it's fair game.
Mhm.
There's you can catch it, catch it.
I'm gonna roll with battery too. What? Or memory.
That's pretty smooth.
Definitely better to be sure about it. And now this game we had this great angle, this replay angle that we're at. I love seeing it for highlights. It tracks the play beautifully. I think this recording was a little messed up. The live stream was definitely an issue, and a lot of the time we're going to this angle for gameplay, which loses a lot of the field, which I'm sad about. But that angle, if you can get that for replay, that's incredible.
Nice, nice. Okay, so it looks like we're moving to a little 3-2 split stack for a little bit.
Mm.
Looks it's working. Nobody's guarding Wodach. That's good.
We just remember the hammer he threw, so we're like, yeah, let him get it.
Yeah, no, but it's still a 10-yard loss there. So yeah, there goes Nate.
Going to
Good little
work.
switch. But now he's downfield.
Let Lamar deal with them for a little bit.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Double
So
teams.
Max has.
What's your take on double teams?
Oh, I think doubling the center is good, but especially at least our O line, Max Castle, Garrett, like that one, the two-handed flick. Like I don't think double teaming our O line is effective at all, except the center.
I mean,
So
you had the disc and you threw the two-handed flick, but it was a 7-yard loss. Better than you throwing a goal.
It was awesome. It was such a cool flick that it was worth it. I think there might be a replay. I don't know. But it was a two-handed elevator blade, which I'd never thrown before. So let's see if they show it, because I would love that. Yeah, this one. So it's a two-handed flip, little blade. I think that I love double teams because I get to throw those kind of throws. Like,
I agree. I love playing out of a double team.
Oh, it's great.
Hey, you
it's
two,
so fun.
You're not going to be able to stop this, which is great.
Yeah.
But I love the rule. I think I would love to see that to progress into club if that was possible. I love double teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's like also like a risk reward too. It's like if you double team, you're risking if it gets broken. So it's not like an only good thing for the defense. It can be bad. So yeah, I think that there's the throwing ability across, all the levels are just it's high enough where well, I don't know, maybe not at certain levels like high school and youth yet, but
that would be tough.
Yeah, I think it could be something to think about. It's super fun if you've never been there. That's a tough throw.
Mm-hmm. And this goal point, you guys did a great job with the double team actually, just pushing us to the reset. But then once we got downfield, we stayed downfield, which is great. And that's how you punish the double team. You just keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to double the center just to shut down the pull plays. we were kind of getting to. I was thinking this year it's like um, with the double team. I think people are going to start running pull plays like you center it and then you kick it off to like a fake center just because. I don't know. Was that Xavier? Oh, end of quarter. Yeah. I was like, is that the throw we want? But I realized there's 5 seconds left. But I honestly wasn't surprised that was the throw. He would have thrown that if there's 4 minutes left. So incredible power. He makes one of the best throws of the season in this game. No spoilers, but it's I'm excited to break down that play. So we're going to the fourth.
Me too.
Going to another close fourth quarter.
Close,
So we
talked
about it earlier. We talked about it earlier on the stream that for like the past 4 years, every time the game went to the fourth quarter, New York would find a way to like do something horrible and just like lose the game by 1. It would be up by 3, or they'd make a huge comeback and then lose it at the last second. But I'm excited. Every time DC and New York played here in the AUDL, just the fourth quarter would be something crazy. So we'll see what happens.
And I mean, part of that is the two coaches we have with BJ for us and Daryl Stanley for you, just loving to battle with each other and knowing each other's style so well, and just once it gets here, we're ramping up, we're getting into it.
Oh yeah, their rivalry is something special. That's tough. Ooh, that's a little break. There we go. That's New York. That's the fourth quarter New York that we love. He's on the line. But yeah, Daryl and I know they have, and Brian have. I know they have a ton of respect, and just like that rivalry is like half of the rivalry right now. Is like, what is each coach going to bring to the game at halftime, and see who can kind of separate their team.
What's it like being coached by Daryl? It seems like you have a decent amount of input on when you play and what's going on. Just what's that side of it look like?
It's he runs. It's definitely like he does a great job. I'm always asking to play. I don't think he's not listening to me. I'm like, Daryl, I'm feeling great. Let me get a D point. But he calls it when I'm ready. He's taking me out of games I'm playing bad in. So he's got the final say. He definitely, and honestly, Nate Pryor does a lot of work for our offense. He calls the plays. He's like the offensive coordinator. So. Yeah, no, Daryl he did an incredible job with the defense here. A lot of our D-line were pretty new to the league this year, and to be guarding, some of the Empire players we were talking about, they did a great job. So
yeah,
so he's definitely
this year.
Ooh. Ouch! That was your cut?
Oh yeah, but so that was my cut, which I'm happy with the cut. But the biggest part about that is Matt Stevens, I believe, had the disc and throws a little forehand fake. And once the defender sees that combined with a jab step, they're like, "Oh, yeah. That's my disc."
Yeah,
and that's 10 yards part of the pump fake.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting. Do you ever set that cut up?
Going back to the Daryl thing first, just this season, everyone was kind of writing you guys off. And then you came out, and I mean, our first game against you guys, you punched us in the face, and we squeaked out of it. And this game is another great game, and you end up in the playoffs again, which is not surprising to us, but surprising to some people.
The third game. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why we kind of got written off so much. We were a good team, but yeah. Tough playoffs, neutral site at this field. Let's see what happens here first. I'll wait on offense a little bit. So yeah, down to 9 minutes left. I don't think we made any changes here. Nate's 40-yard break throw looks good. Garrett, I thought that was one of his scoobers. He throws a couple like 30-yard scoobers in this game. Really fun to watch. But no, it looks like we're just playing normal offense here. I think no mark.
Yeah, I mean, at this
There's
point,
one.
yep, that's a nice throw. We're looking at the clock. We're looking at the score. We don't necessarily need something to happen. If you keep throwing it around, that's good for us. But
That's my
you do
third
a good
hammer
job
fake of
working.
the game. No hammer.
0 hammers thrown.
Probably not. No, but yeah. So Wodats. Oh, let's go.
You put it in.
Yeah. So that one. I definitely got bumped on the mark again.
That we've been discussing all the time here.
It wouldn't be an easy breeze versus Empire if it didn't. That's
We got commenters back now. I believe that's.
I mean, I think it's pretty great. Yeah. 2 years ago.
So the stream got caught up and they're talking now, so they have some nice information. They said 3 straight 1-point games is what I just heard.
Yeah.
For his Empire.
I mean, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were talking about earlier. It's like every game has come down to something wild. So, all right, back on defense here. Get another crack at it. Let's see. Let's see if I get Ben again. This might be when I went to try to guard Jack and just wasn't close. This could be.
There you go.
Oh, this one. So I think I'm guarding Elliott here as guard the reset handler and hopefully get a turn and go deep. So that was kind of the strategy. But I learned Elliott just made me work all points, and I was just like, all right, maybe I won't guard. I'm also tired. When I get tired, I start. When I get tired, I start deep every mark. So.
I mean, we're pretty deep into this game. You've probably played a decent amount of points, so no surprise that you're tied here.
Yeah, but no, that's the best.
Go for it.
Oh no, it's like the best part of a double team. Sometimes it's just it gives you a good opportunity to rest.
Take it a little easy.
Make it look like you're doing something when you're just really tired and you just kind of want to. Kind of mark. So.
And that was a sneaky great throw from Gibran there to Harp. Harp had a nice cut, and Jibs just put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, he's a good player. He definitely is.
Hard to be as good as Garvey when
And then there Grant goes. If you're even with him when he's taking his first steps, you're in trouble. And he does a great job putting Benny into the end zone there.
Good spot. I mean, the kid that was guarding Grant there, Kevin Versteeg, could be our fastest player too.
Yeah, I mean he was much closer than I was expecting on that cut, but
yeah, no,
Grant.
No, Kevin, number 51, right there. I think he's UMB Towson. Sorry, rivals. He's like a small school, just incredible player, but he's top 3 for speed, I would say, on the breeze.
Where do you put yourself in that?
Depends on how I'm feeling. I think I can go anywhere from 1 to 5, depending on the day. I think, I'd probably average
conservative
out. Yeah, maybe. It depends. I'm using my fakes to get open, not my speed. I just get defenders leaning. So it looks like I got the ISO cut here. Oh no, flood to Garrett.
So Empire with a zone hearing.
Coming back. Oh, I was coming back from 30.
That's something that I know for myself and for BJ on our defensive front. Like a flood, it should never work. Everyone should be heads up enough to know that the flood's coming and to be able to stuff it.
It's always the front of the stack. It's always. Oh, there's Garrett again. I'm telling you, Garrett he's so nice. But no.
This was a nice throw from you, Rowan.
Yeah, that was He's got to milk that, though. He's got to milk that.
He could have put that in
Yeah,
for
that was
sure.
a-
Assist to Rowan.
So he's cutting left to right, and then I throw it right to left like a back shoulder. I think this throw is going to be big and ultimate of like just throwing it to the opposite shoulder.
Especially on
So
this
like, yeah,
field.
he
I
has
mean,
to refind it.
wide. He has plenty of time to adjust, and no one can get anywhere near him.
Yeah, and it's so much easier for the offense to find the disc first than the defense. So as soon as they realize it's going to a weird space, it works every time. I think I've been preaching back shoulder hucks for a few years, so we'll see what happens. See what happens. Oh yeah, so yeah, Alex Fall is the fastest player on the breeze. So I would never be 1. So maybe 2 to 5. I think he's the fastest player in the sport. Uh-oh. Hopefully we score this one from the 1-yard line.
Oh, yeah, X with a little cheeky backhand through the mark.
Yeah, that was sweet. This was just a throw. Slip?
Yeah. Your guy 13 here on the double team gets it, I think.
Oh, yeah,
He tries
got
to
it.
put a little blade.
Oh, blade to Harper. Yeah. This is a
That was
cool
a good
throw
mark.
here.
Yeah.
No
This
pivot?
is probably my favorite way to bring double team.
Yeah. That's a good throw. Little barbecue. I love the barbecue backhand.
And this is an interesting coaching scenario for all those coaches out there. So Elliott, great handler, great player. Pretty much anytime we got broken, I would go in for him for that next O point. And that I feel like can really feel like a bad mental thing for Elliott. Like he just threw a turnover, now he gets benched, and that's not what it's meant as. But it's an interesting thing to have to tiptoe around for coaches, and I have a ton of respect for the coaches that I've been able to play under. Oh, and I threw it right to X there.
Yeah,
he had a
threw
great
it right
lead
to a
there.
Ben Katz coach.
But then he threw it back to me, so it's okay.
That read was incredible because
that was great from X. Oh, and that one, yeah.
Interesting. Oh, jeez.
Harper just cannon.
Yeah, that wrist snap. I mean, his hammers go further than all of my throws combined. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I really liked Xavier's D on that because he wasn't planning on poaching the lane. He wasn't doing anything. He was just kind of following his guy, and then all of a sudden he saw a wide open under, I think from Grant, and so he just peels off, turns, and just catches it right in his chest, and that's I think the kind of defense that I'd love to see become normal, just knowing where the dangerous area is and making something happen.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I just saw Grant go up line, didn't get the disc, but just opened up that separation in 2 steps. Real. 21. Yeah, I don't think I've watched the end of this game for a while. I don't know. Most games I play, I can just remember the whole game. I know it gets weird, but
Benny just finds the inside shoulder on him, blows by him.
To the front cone. And they hold in an exciting fashion. The Empire and the DC Breeze again coming down to
so as soon as it goes up, you went left and he went right, and then that just gives you that closing. Reading is underrated. I'll say that.
I agree. And yeah, I'm very happy with my ability to see what the disc is going to do right when it comes out of the hand. And that was on display on that one. He saw it come up, thought it would tail to the right, but it just ended up being straight down the middle. And I would have been in trouble if it was floating for both of us to have a play on.
Yeah. Agreed.
You
I
got
mean,
there
that's the thing.
first.
All right, here we go.
And
Little,
welcome back to our streaming audience. We
I don't know what this play was, but
technical difficulties.
It was
oh,
just you stand in the
and
lane and then get it.
Empire DC Breeze,
thank you.
3:33 left in the game.
I mean, that's savvy Bo. He
Oh,
Wow.
knows what
yeah,
you'll be
stop.
able to
Eyes off the
deal with.
mismatch.
He knows what the refs will see,
Tight game.
and
New York up one with the chance for a
Bo,
break.
Bo being Bo.
Matt Lamar.
And then you see him
Well, that
again,
was
just
a
Confirmed this could
2
be a
yards away
timeout
from the
switch.
disc the entire
Collins
time.
back on the field. Wow, what a change
I
of
just
events
I forgot
right
about
there
that
for
drop.
the front
So
of the stack.
up
Lindsey
one with the
back
disc here. It should be a wrap. It
Katz
should be a
check it
wrap.
in.
3 minutes.
Williams
Oh,
wants
is
to
this
see if
you
he
with
can
the
clear
disc
those
coming
deep.
off the
Now he'll
timeout?
come under, but Katz
It
will.
sure is.
Oh, too late. Didn't see him instead to guard.
Oftentimes we know that if Harper picks it up,
Two of them
they'll
there.
just
Lindsey gets it.
set a double team on Harp no matter what. So
Both of them.
it's nice for me to pick it up and be able to move it a little.
Up to Lee.
Yeah,
Lee looking.
yeah, for
Fakes the
sure.
hammer to Jackson.
Oh, there's a good hammer
Laces
fake.
it across the
Big
chin.
hammer fake from Elliott. Love that.
An open Katz will throw it to him. Katz right.
Oh,
Ben Katz looking at
And then we got a
back.
little Jeff
That's-
Fires it for
separation.
the goal.
So
There's the break. Ben Katz.
that's your
Jeff
throw
Got it.
too. The low release
Empire
backhand.
late in the
They don't know
game
yet.
with the
They're
break.
like, I don't
12
know
up
how they
2.
don't know.
With only two
well, that's the
timeouts
thing that
left in this game.
everyone on Pony and Empire knows, but they can't stop it either, bro.
Really wanted.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't even know if I can reach there. But
Exactly. That's the good thing about being shorter than everyone else is I'll be down lower.
Just enough space in the
I don't think I've ever
zone
thrown
to
a step
stand
out
and
low
win the
release
goal.
backhand in my entire life.
Again, this is a
Once.
story of
Like, it's just not a throw. I would never throw.
You gotta work on it.
It's like Keegan, Sean Keegan with that like half pivot. I kind of use his backhand, just kind of like throw it before I land. I don't know.
Yep.
Seeing it from both sides. Again, the conditions here are beautiful, but neither team has been able to rein those in. But
BJ just texted me, yelled at me for giving away stuff. I'm not really sure what I'm giving away, but
McDonnell swings it.
we'll be
Nah,
all
the
right,
thing is,
BJ.
I mean,
Max Castle, I think.
yeah.
But it's
Well, the
too
thing is, if you
defensive
give it
heavy.
away, then you know what you give
Jump
away, and
ball
you
in
can
the
kind
air,
of counter.
it is
So it's
caught
like a
by
long
Mhm.
level. It's like I'll give you my scouting report. I like the forehand. I like going deep. Like,
one of the
but
defensive
now if you
leaders of
play
the
me that way,
AUDL.
then I'll just
Gets
change what
right
I
there.
do. I don't know.
Quarter on the books.
Exactly.
So,
his brother Mike draws to
no, it's fun. All right, we just turned it
That's
again, which is a little concerning.
23-21, 2 minutes left. Should be ball
I
game.
feel like this is
We'll
like
see what
compared to
happens.
like 2 years ago with the other way, with the DC making late kind of conversions. And Empire now.
And here again, you see it. You got Mike Drost with the orange cleats about to receive it. Ryan Drost in the classic Empire hat that always falls off his
Yeah.
head. And both just still working hard, running as hard as they possibly can. A minute 42 left in the game, and they're great players. They're awesome. If you're a D-line cutter and you want to try to emulate someone, watch both Drost play, and you'll learn some stuff.
Like completely, like might as well take it all the way down.
Yeah, no, they're always there. They always get that one block too where they just run through the disc. So many players run at the disc, but if you run through the disc, then that's when you actually can generate blocks. So that's a quick tip. Run through the disc. Don't run to the disc on defense. So.
Yep, like that.
Oh, we got Babbitt in the comments. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're wondering how that you give up this lead. I
We
forget.
don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. Do we give up the lead? I don't know.
All right. Well, we're back.
And then we immediately turned it. I made fun of Jack so much for that. BJ put him in. I always want BJ to put me in. And the first thing that happens is a weird miscommunication between Lamar and Jack, and I ribbed him on that for the entire rest of the season.
Did you? Yeah. What about in real time? Did you say anything like, "Ha, like what are you doing?" Or did you like wait until after the game?
I think in general,
That's the real question.
I keep it pretty cool on the sideline.
It's a goal.
Yeah.
This is when I quick release again.
Greedy.
That's the quick release of
Just getting greedy around the disc here.
Wow, what a turn of events there. the
So,
opportunity for after
which
the
it hurts us
3-2
more than it
run
helps
for
us
the New York
sometimes when
Empire
I
to
just
really
like
close
chase
out
the
the clock.
disc,
Instead,
but
57 seconds left. You're
here
up
worked
1.
okay.
This
So,
game is still theirs, but
Yeah,
there's a lot of
yeah,
pressure on
that's
this
one
one
of
right
those
now.
things. If you get it, then it's great. If you don't get it, then it might ruin the whole system. But that
yeah.
time, like you said, you got it.
Right now, as they're chit-chatting on the line, ready to go.
All right, so
Let's see how the ball
57 seconds on the clock. Are you thinking about
gonna sneak
scoring,
out.
or
They had
if
that
you were
second
on,
half
or do you think
lead
about
the other
just
day.
burning the clock and
Think
winning?
about it. You know,
I'd say with
offense.
a minute left, a 1 point lead,
You know, 7
I'm not trying to burn the clock here. I'm trying to
certainly the
play
strategy
normal
to
offense,
capitalize here.
take the shots that we've normally been taking.
That's even better.
Like if it's a risky huck,
Other side,
don't do
is
it.
going to come down and get
If
rowdy.
we're just playing offense, like nothing really should change here. You should be running hard, trying to get the disc,
Tight
which we
personal
do
foul right
for
now.
the majority of the
Goes
beginning of the
on
point. And
Katz.
you guys play
Swings
just
through the
man
line for
defense,
Katz right now.
which would have played right into our hands. And then at one point, I
Catch
think
up,
maybe after
but
this
not.
throw,
Empire
X
decides
realizes
to
that
go.
this isn't going to work, and he starts just double teaming,
All they have to
Yeah,
do is hold it.
yeah, he
which
comes all the way
which is
through.
a great move from him. And I think we didn't
Keeps up trying to get in the lane and
get
mess up.
quite enough
Katz and
practice on
almost
this
Lindsay
before,
is the opening
and
double
we
team.
kind of spread out
Gets
way
rid of
too
it to
far.
Katz. Clock is ticking
So you're
down.
Yeah,
double teaming, and
Katz can throw
our
it deep
open
at this
person
point.
is 70
Oh, it's
yards
deep.
deep,
Breeze. 6 seconds
and
left.
there's no way to get it
Timeout
there.
from McDonnell.
yeah,
Crowd
and
excited. That was a heck of a
Leo
turn of events there.
Pearson, number 78,
Leo Pearson gets
not
the
only
big
did this once
turn.
this year, I
McDonnell
think
makes
he
them
had
put
2
2
or
seconds back on this
3
clock.
blocks
See what
within
this
10
does here. At
seconds.
least 2
It was
seconds.
like this,
There's a
the
minute left
craziest
here.
stat I had,
A timeout.
Really,
you could have. I'm like,
What do you dial up
down
here? You
1
got the disc.
blocks
Got to get a score.
in
Going to
under
put the
10
best
seconds.
lineup
Yeah, I think he
there.
had 3. So
Can
this
McDonnell
part,
stay?
it gets
I feel
fun
like he
here
hasn't
because
sat
we know how good New York
like
is at
5
the end
straight
of the
games.
buzzer
He's
situations.
going to stay.
We're not
Of
that
course.
tall as a team.
Merriman,
So
Richard,
I'm like, yo,
Maxter,
X, we're going to
Max
flood the left
Plaster,
side of the
Jeff
end
Woodridge.
zone.
Pryor looks like
And
he's
that's
out
where
there
we want to
talking to him. He's
show,
going to go on the
like,
line.
we're
Let's
going to
see.
lob it up. And then I'm like, I'm going to stand in the back and throw me a blade, and I'm going to sneak away. So this was like a design play the whole time. But I know, like, Jack comes on the mark, and then he goes and marks backhand. So it's like, okay, it's going to be a little bit harder, and we'll see. We'll see if this play worked. I've always wanted to run this play in pro, like the fake, show the end zone on one side and like
Throw
slip to the
behind
other.
Lindsley.
So this is like
Yeah.
this is the first time that we actually got to run this play. So let's see if we can see how we kind of
If
set
it
up.
works,
So yeah,
and
so
we're out here
yeah, so
in
we're gonna
like you said, in the forced flick, and we
He's
got
got
Bo,
Rowan down the
Jeff,
field. He's
Benyat,
got
Grant,
Murphy down the
just
field.
like
The only
all
one
these
with him
incredible
is
defenders out there,
Pryor.
and we're
He puts
in a
his
little
feet
bit of a
back on the
zone
field.
here, and then
yeah.
you're
So we
right there
push
in the
our
back.
back on the
One of the
left,
last
and I
turnovers of
told.
the
So you
season.
see me jump,
Chance
like
to
I was
Yeah,
convert.
you're
going for
pushing
our
it.
move, but
Gonna check
and
it in.
then there I
Oh, they
go,
throw up the
and
line.
then
McDonnell's open for a
it's just
goal and
there.
tie it up.
So I was like,
Yeah.
It was too easy.
yeah, I was just super happy.
Maxter, no problem.
It's always fun to
Lining
play
up, and
more
McDonnell with the happy
ultimate,
feet
and
finds
it's
the
an
spot.
outrageous 10
This
seconds.
is no
So yeah,
problem.
this throw,
Lets him throw over Jack Williamson.
perfect. It can't
Maxter,
float.
Very
Grant
nice.
gets
there
there.
is points left.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
a
This was
it's a
the throw I was
it's a
talking to.
face guard.
He may have
He
thrown that
And
sends
no
especially
look.
it all, and Rowan makes the
those two
play.
with
I know.
Jack and X,
Going into
as
overtime.
college teammates. Jack knows exactly what he wants, and still gets it there.
Yeah, I hope that
Take a breath there on that.
X was letting him know.
Wow.
So yeah, it
Our
was.
defense came with 6 seconds left. Pearson, the throw behind Lindsley. Katz just needed to throw.
Here we go. Another classic. Well, not over yet. Empire have scored quite a few goals. Quite a few goals with 3 seconds left.
Would have finished the
And
game.
I think.
Instead, the Breeze get a turnover and
you throw it out of bounds, which is
this is a good one.
like I would think not a great move. So now the clock starts when Harper releases it.
Yeah, so you can get like a blade
With the arm.
if you need
Hammers it
to.
up. Clock is going
Like
down.
that was
That's
a
not gonna
bold
make it.
throw.
That's the end of the
Yeah, just a little bit too high,
Not enough time
I
for
think.
Williamson to
Right.
throw up.
Yeah.
And that
But
is
like if that
end
if that got there a little faster, Jack definitely has a throw into the end zone that we can make a play on.
And wow, what a thrill.
Yeah, like a
It's
quick
got
blade.
to be
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't.
disheartening
Yeah,
events for the New York Empire. You really
Now
thought
we got
they
free
had this
frisbee.
game. And DC,
another
uplift for them.
overtime game. Classic
Was in
overtime.
New York Empire's hands, as you
Yeah.
said. Katz couldn't put it downfield, and instead with the double team.
And I mean,
off, trying to
what is
get
this feeling like for you? I mean, you got the last second goal to tie it up. Are you feeling like you got this game, or?
DC
Yeah,
Breeze
yeah.
coming out
There's
strong, and
absolutely
all of
we've
these
always
players
like
on the New York
the first
Empire
time we played you. I think it was a
really strong.
2-goal game. So we're
Very
like,
close game.
we know we can play with New York. We love playing
Together,
here.
maybe not all
Then
the
after
wins
that
there,
kind of happened, it was
in some of
like,
these high pressure
all right,
situations.
you know, we
It's
got it.
if they can rally
Receiving
to one.
first in overtime, I think
Receiving
is
too.
Just serving.
a good advantage to have.
Easily to McDonnell.
And our
Yep.
offense has just been playing
Fake.
great.
There's the one from
So
McDonnell that we all know.
there's that half backhand pivot I was talking about, the Sean Keegan, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, was trying to
So,
get there, but couldn't.
so yeah, I'm feeling good personally. I remember, feeling all right. Although kind of lagging behind the disc here. We'll see. Maybe I'm just quarterbacking it.
There you go. Field general.
Oh, yeah, I got Bo on me. I can go every other. So just,
Ooh, Bo is ready to blow up that upline though.
yeah, no, just teasing.
There's the hammer to McDonnell.
Yeah, that's the thing about Bo is,
Get there, no.
he tries to knock you over here, but he
Still
has
handsy
that.
after the goal.
Down there. I think that's Ryan.
Bo has that late
Nice
game
Over on
clutch ability,
block.
and
Yeah, for
he
sure.
really knows how to turn it up. He's still
McDonnell just
like the body's definitely wearing on him, but he still finds a way to do it.
You're right, Kittredge there trying to
Yeah,
track him down.
yeah. No, he got us a few times this
Goal
year.
there for,
But yeah,
McDonnell has two
little
AUDL
contact.
MVPs collide in the end zone. You don't see that every day.
No.
But yeah, so it's a good start to overtime. I think that first hold is huge, and
Mm-hmm.
so
That
it's
is officially now a 3-goal
for us. It's like worst case scenario, a tie. It's like it's gonna be hard to give up a couple. I don't know. We're feeling good, and our defense has just started to get some blocks.
So
Yep.
late as you can get 3-goal run from the Breeze puts them ahead.
At this point, it looks like I've pretty much completely shifted to offense, which I mean I love. I love playing O-line.
Yeah.
I love
Offense is a little bit
getting
easier.
that.
So
It's so easy. And
Do you
you're in
run
a
7 or
soft
8
here.
oh, that's
Normally
nice.
on our O line, yeah, Elliott. He's got throws. He's got great throws, and he's a very conservative player, which is great. How's Grant not throw me this? Come
I
on.
know that needs to be thrown.
But,
Instead goes for the 15-yard dump. Let's go.
Well, we're milking the clock here. We know we'll be in a good position. We're just trying to take it down on you guys. But yeah, our O line for this year in particular was pretty short. We would run 9 people, maybe 10 people if you count me and Jeff.
Sure.
And just, I mean, the players on that O line were incredible.
You see the same players. Yeah. I mean, it's like who you're gonna sit. So
Right.
it's a good throw.
And then Elliott, another big throw there. And here I know just Benny has
that'll
that
throw it.
huge wingspan, and that break is not a hard break for him to hit, especially on the backhand. So I'm just going knowing that he's looking for it, and he just puts it to a spot that only I can get it.
All right. Well, nothing is
He also,
easy.
he's got those eyes. He's got the end zone eyes for sure. If you're making a good cut in the end zone, Ben's gonna throw it.
Big time.
That's a great throw. That's a great throw. So
New York Empire players so that they can double team. We saw, I think, 5 double teams at least in that point.
And again, I mean, we're confident in our defense. We got the guys that can make plays. We got our general defense this entire year has been wear down the offense, and like you might get a lot of completions, but you're going to have to work for most of your points. So at this point in the game, that O-line, especially if it's a tight O-line, will get pretty tired, and this is where we generally capitalize on that.
Yeah, I mean, we're running 8, I think, and maybe even 7. Like, we run a really tight O-line and then try to give our legs to our defense. So, yeah. And we'll see here.
And now we got Jeff on you.
Oh, that's
we're
fun.
really trying to put some pressure on you.
I love that. It's so fun. We just have a good time. I just get mad. Some people get scared to throw near Jeff, so I go deep and I get looked off. I was like, come on, just throw it up there.
Yep,
That's a terrible cut. That's a terrible cut.
That was also a nice job from Matt Lamar there with the switch onto you. He saw you just get greedy for the disc, and he was like, well, they're only going to look here, so I'm going to play defense on it.
There's Braun with the disc.
That's fair.
McDonnell finds this.
You get Jeff a little there.
Is Jeff play a lot of backfield defense? I feel like I'm just like cutting.
Definitely not the whole time. But, I mean, he has the ability.
That was sick. That throw was crazy.
Now the defense is getting tired. They're off a little bit.
That was Max. That was Max again.
Jeff with that big paw almost gets in there, and that's.
Oh no!
You didn't like it.
Yeah, no, it was closer than I thought. I definitely caught that one pretty strongly. So, oh yeah, we're tired here for sure, without a doubt. But we'll be fine. We play better when we get tired. Our whole O-line is feeling over, breathing. Oh my gosh. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that seems like a nice, good timeout call. Everyone's pretty tired, clearly, and you're giving everyone a break.
For the DC Breeze to come in here.
Yeah, I need my break. I didn't know they were tired. I just needed a break.
All right, so do you remember what play you run here?
I guess we give Nate Pryor the disc, and maybe a front of the stack ISO cut from Garrett.
So that would that be your play that you draw up if in this situation, a minute left in overtime, tie ball game, you're getting Nate the ball and try to put it in?
Or Garrett up front. It looks like Max is going to go up line, and that's Garrett in the front. Yeah, I think that Max, Garrett, myself can all make the front of the stack ISO. Yeah, I mean, just giving Nate the disc is the most important part, and see what he does with it.
That's fair. All right. And we got Jack on now, a little bit of a longer mark. Try to get in there.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, Garrett won, trying to get Garrett the ball, which is great. And Nate's going to save us.
Let that happen,
my 7 cut, I had my 7 cut there. I didn't get it.
Ooh, that one. That's a one that Mike Drost always.
Close on
always
it for sure.
Yeah.
So this is.
And we got Grant on you, so that's making you work hard.
Yeah, and there it is.
Nice hit from Nate there.
Nate to Garrett. So we didn't get the first one, but they made it happen. Just clutch.
Collected there by Garrett Braun. Nice handler movement as the backfield did all the hard, heavy lifting.
And I'm not great at laying out on defense, but I think if Nate put this a little bit behind, I got a nice attempt at that.
That's that's one of my favorite throws. I think that's a little bit different from that blade break that people throw, but if you put that outside in edge on it, but it's flat, it sits and almost helixes back. That is, it's pretty watching. That was a perfect angle to showcase that. It's the outside in that falls back IO. So it's a must have if you want to be good.
Yeah, and now here we are with 35 seconds left, down
35 seconds left. So we're all right, well, New York's good at this. Maybe we let him score with 10 seconds and try to score again. That literally is something that we have to think about.
That's an interesting strategy.
And
if you bring it to football, and Boston,
It's
Bill Belichick
important.
often let someone
Now
score.
we send it to Yacht, who's wide
And
open.
That's
Elliott
a
Lee
cool
with a
play.
Blown
huge
coverage,
throw
Deep.
there.
Yacht now has a wide open
50-yard
Matt
play.
Stevens. It's a goal.
And
So
then
New York ties
Jack
it up.
Williams
11
takes the
seconds left.
defender wide,
Ben Yacht
and Matt
to Matt
Stevens sees it, and he has an
Field guard here.
incredible
So
nose for the goal, and
he's part of the mile
just
mark
goes to
crew.
that corner for an easy goal.
Katz Stevens gets on the
yeah,
field and shows why.
11 seconds though. We got our number,
We're
and
asking where he
it's
was.
important since if it goes into double
Extra easy
OT,
now.
then
That's
you
called
have
finding the spaces.
And we get the
possession.
ball.
And
So like
zone
that's
defense again.
definitely on our mind.
That was
So
one of the
if we don't
less
score
impressive
here, we have to
changes
break
the
to
coach,
win.
as you were saying,
So that
they've pressed
changes,
them
Mhm.
time on the
that
clock.
changes a little bit some of the
More
dynamics
than
going
enough
in.
time,
But
as we've seen, for the DC Breeze to
looks like you got Ben. Yeah,
field and
Yeah, we got a pretty
Empire will be
stacked D line for these 11 seconds. And again, so 11 seconds is
Oh.
in that weird range where, like, you don't want to give
Yeah.
up a free 30, 40
50 yards.
yards.
Yeah, you can get 50. Yeah, for sure. But this
Yeah.
actually, like,
It's going to hang, but will it
this
stay in
play
bounds?
is almost catastrophic. Let's take a look to see what happened.
Mhm. So
So we
we
get
have
it to our
Albert and
power
myself,
thrower,
very soft. Yep. And
and
he just
then
throws it right to
They
Jack.
have time to score now.
I
Will it go? He
know, and
laces
now
it.
it's like,
Will it
oh
count?
no.
It's good if it goes.
I don't think,
And then that's a
It's in the
great
end zone.
throw.
It's tipped and deep.
And Albert was so close. That's a nice D. That was Max, right?
Max
by
Castle,
Alarcon.
he's getting up. I told you
That's a
he's the
good
low-key
D.
hard.
Max Castle
He's athletic.
for the DC
Yeah.
Breeze, and we're going to a double overtime here.
I cannot believe that. But if that gets to
this play, I don't want it
Wodach,
to end. It's a
Wodach has a
it's a very good
30-yard,
game. It's a very,
opportunity for an easy
game.
goal. So I understand kind of that throw. He missed it, but it's still decent.
I thought Albercon could get up there for it, touches it, but
Whew. And now we're going into sudden death double overtime.
So yeah, so we got double overtime here in the AUDL. If you score, you win. And so since New York pulled to start OT, they're receiving, and if they hold, it's over. So we need to break to win. And here's where the game gets a little interesting. So Brian calls like a universe O-line or just the O-line that's been playing? What's the call here?
Let's see. It looks like, I would guess, just normal O-line that's been playing. Maybe put Bo in. Nope, doesn't look like Bo's in there. Jeff comes over. And I mean, like, look at those players. You got Jack Williams, Ben Yacht, Grant Lindsley, Harper Garvey, Elliott Lee, Jeff Babbitt, and myself. And that's just like, that's a line I'm very confident with, no matter the situation.
Yeah.
And we're just out here knowing that you need a D. We can just walk it in. We have done it this game. We can do it again. Just like play easy offense, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, that'll be fun. But I think that we still feel good here on defense. Where I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna see. First thing I'm gonna see after. I think that I've been trying to find that point with Jack where he just works me. I think this could be it. I think he just gets like this huge ISO cut. But let's see what. What's your universe O play here? What do we got? Oh, Jack from the front. Oh yeah, he comes back.
Grant's coming over.
Jack's gonna come under for 40 here. Oh,
yeah. Jack to Grant just eating up 50 yards on 2 unders. Benny getting another 20-yard under.
Yeah, but it's not over. It's not over. Goal line stand. That's what we're going for here.
Yeah. And like that was a great swing. We get it all the way across the field, get another lane to attack. 5 yards away. Still run some end zone.
Neely will fake into the end zone.
Interesting.
And slide it back to Williams, who's everywhere on this point.
You never want to be on defense when the announcer says that your player is everywhere on this point.
Yeah, exactly. There, try to pivot, get a little foul. We're 3 feet away from the goal.
The referee will mark it.
Game's on the line.
And here's the little chemistry. Grant open for that inside, just wasn't ready for it.
with the late
All
drop
right,
there.
so
Katz
now
had a nice
here's where it gets really
block
interesting.
backhand.
So I'm going to call a
McDonnell pick
timeout.
up.
Daryl
A
says
chance for
maybe
DC
don't
now.
do it. So I'm like, all right, I'll get a
Love
free
having Rowan
throw.
on your D
So
line,
I'm
and they'll
looking
call timeout immediately.
downfield, and then I call a timeout. So long story short, basically there was like a miscommunication on the timeout situation because we had used one in the first
Yeah, there's no
overtime.
clock in the
Sudden
double
death.
I
time.
was next
Yeah,
to the
well,
goal.
that's why you get your.
So now the refs say, well,
That's why
you
you get
used your
your
overtime
timeout
timeout.
line. So
You call a
next goal,
timeout when you
let's
don't
go
have it, turnover.
The DC
So I'm
Breeze
like,
have a
I
timeout,
should have known the rules
and
better.
they do not have a
I'm
timeout
feeling bad. Like I
in
may
this
have just cost
period.
my team the
That
game.
is a turnover.
Wow.
And
New York will
but we
now have
find
the
out
disc.
later that you actually get
Referees
another
are talking
timeout
about
in
this.
double overtime. So
Is that,
technically we should be sending out Nate Pryor and the O line here.
Yeah.
But instead,
So it looks like
I'm forced to guard Jack in the front of the stack, and you can
Chris Webber
see
moment
some
here
really bad defense.
as
And yeah,
What
that's
was
timeout.
New
our.
York?
We're going
I mean,
to talk about this.
we have no idea what's going on either. The refs are
Go
talking.
talk to the coaches. Here are the referees.
Matt
Don't
Stevens
talk
talked to the refs
Daryl
before
Stevens.
overtime, before the double overtime, and
Try to explain to him.
was told that no one gets timeouts. So once you call that, he's sprinting out there immediately. Hey, they don't have a timeout. They don't have a
Hear Daryl a
timeout.
little bit there, asking,
And
wants to know what happened.
yeah, some weird miscommunication from the refs, not necessarily knowing all the rules, which you hate to see.
Have the disc.
But Jack is the one person here that's like, hey,
Called by the DC
they said that
and they
they don't have a
so
timeout. The
therefore
refs told us it's our disc. Harper pick up the disc. I'm ISO.
Yeah,
We're gonna win.
I know. This is not a great. Oh,
Pulls it up each
terrible.
Indeed.
time.
I actually made a YouTube video.
Anticlimactic
My YouTube
end
video,
to
my
the
not
game,
my five
and
worst
that
plays
will
of the
do
year,
it.
and that
Williams
was I think play
Jackson
number one.
proud.
So
Yeah.
it's worth
And
it's
this
worth
game
a
is
look.
over.
You know, check it out on YouTube. But
We
yeah, we didn't know about the
actually,
rule
this
until
game
the
would be
bus ride
close.
home, where we
Did
kind
not
of figured
realize
out,
that it
ooh,
would go to
I've seen that so
sudden
many
death,
times.
universe point
But
between
we
the
found out on the
Breeze and the
bus
Empire, but this is the
home that
history of
we
those
actually did have a
games.
timeout, and we should have
Easy catch
had a
from Jack
crack at it. So
Williams.
I don't know. Did New York? Did you guys
The
kind of
air
realize
comes
that
out of the
you kind of got
balloon,
away with one?
deflated for
What
the
was the
DC
thought?
Breeze after
Like,
they
did
get
you want to
the
like?
miraculous
What was
turn
the
on sudden
feeling
death.
over there?
The
Yeah, I
timeout by
mean,
Rowan,
like
and it's a
even
turnover.
with this
And
situation,
Empire
before we
for an
knew
easy
that you
score
did have a
to put this
timeout,
one in the
most
books.
of us are just like,
Controversial end of the
it's
game.
a
DC
very
25 as well.
unfulfilling win.
Handshake.
Like we're happy that we
What
got
game
the win,
we have
but
not seen
like no
like
one
that in a
wants to
long
win like
time.
that. And like
Both teams
even if you did
will go
have,
back.
or you didn't have a
The DC
timeout and
Breeze
you did
took
mess
the
up and
biggest fight
pull a Chris
the
Webber,
Empire had
like you
seen
still don't want to win
all
like that.
season. And
You're
the first game against them
one
was
of the
an
best
Empire
players on the
win.
breeze, one of the best players in the league.
They're going to
No one wants to
continue
see you make a mistake like that and that cost you the game.
Wow.
So we're all like
For tuning
in a
in
weird
to
place here, and we got the
the
win,
barn-burning
but it
game down
felt
at
pretty
this point
strange in how it
between
happened.
Empire here
And then
at
like once
Citizens
we
Field in
did
Newark.
find out that you did
Thank you all
actually
for
have a
tuning in.
timeout, it was just like, wow,
Tony,
we
you have
feel
any
bad.
words for us, last thoughts?
But I mean, there's
I
not
do.
really
I'll tell you right
anything we
now,
can do about it.
there's a third game in the books
Yeah.
between these two teams.
Yeah, fair.
There
Yeah,
is.
A couple
and that's
weeks
kind of
ago,
like
it's gonna
us
have
too.
come
It's
down to
like,
play
yeah,
DC at DC.
like we could
And
try to
I
like
think DC will be
fight
looking
it or
forward
like
to maybe
protest
return
it, but we're
favor
like,
of
you
this
know,
disappointing
it happened.
loss
Let's
that we
move on.
just
There's
suffered
plenty of
here.
games
So
left in the
if you think
season,
this is the end,
and we
for
did.
one
We
team,
kind of
it's
focused
not.
and had a great
It's,
season.
Chapter
another chapter.
Tough loss in the playoffs,
Very
but
exciting thriller of DC.
it was another weird Breeze Empire game for sure.
Of course,
On Frisbee.
there's only those kind of games.
Yeah.
I mean, in this season, well, we played 3 times. The Empire happened to win all games, but it was a combined point differential of like 5 points, I think.
Yeah, because
I mean,
the third game was a one. The third game was crazy too. We were up
That game was
there.
insane.
I don't know if there's film for that one, but I think we were up 3 in the fourth quarter or 2, and then
You were up big, and you were up like 7 in the first half, I think.
interesting.
And
I know it's not
then we were gonna make a couple adjustments, bring me over to the O line again, but there was a scary play where Elliott Lee got hurt, and he actually hit his head on the turf and ended up having a very scary brain hemorrhage. but he's back to healthy now. Planning to play with Chicago this year, but that was kind of a turning point for us, and I mean, kind of shows how loved Elliot Lee was, and like anyone else that happens to is like, oh, why'd you do that? Like, come on, we're trying to be safe here. With Elliot, we kind of took it personal and turned it up a little after that.
Yeah, no, it was, it was a crazy regular season. We really wanted to play you in the playoffs. We went to New York to play Toronto. Winner stayed and played you in some weird playoff format, like a last-minute change. I don't know. We wanted to play you that fourth time. It's hard to beat a team 4 times in a row in the same year. You know what they say. But yeah.
For sure with the matchups coming out and the kind of weird format with it all being in one weekend and in New York. I mean, we were. I can't say we weren't happy about you guys having to play a Saturday game in the sun and then play a Sunday game before whoever won. But we, after the game, we were definitely happy that we would see the Rush, which is a weird thing to say, but they had a bit of a down season this year, and we definitely knew that you guys could put it to us.
Sure. Yeah, I was wondering, like, did you have a preference on who you were gonna play? So, plus they're good games. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if there's any questions coming in from the comments. Let's see. There's a good question about the coaches who don't get enough credit. What's your favorite aspect of Ryan? And then I'll speak for Daryl.
Favorite aspect about BJ? I mean, for me personally, I think it's just we really think on the same wavelength about defense in particular. We're very into intelligent team defense, and for me, like I'm not a prototypical athlete. I'm shorter. I can't jump very high. I'm fine in terms of speed and quickness, but for me, I think what separates me is my intelligence on the field, and BJ very much appreciates that and allows me to play in a system that showcases that, and the rest of the team around me is taught this system that we can play as a very good team, and that's what I love about playing for BJ.
Yeah, no, I can see that. You two definitely, seeing that field for sure. Let's see. I'll say. Let me respond to Max here real quick. So Daryl, I think what he does is, I was saying earlier, our defense was pretty much brand new, and then he just gets them in a place with confidence, with some schemes to be able to play, a very talented O-line. And throughout the season, the D-line, our young defense, just held their own. And our games were kind of, offense tries to play high efficiency ultimate, and then the D-line does enough to get the job done. And I think preseason, a lot of the people were like, oh, the Breeze aren't going to be good because that D-line can't do it. But once Daryl kind of unlocked those lines, it was, a game changer and kind of accelerated us into a growth as a whole team. So,
nice.
Yeah. I think.
What else do we have here? What is my favorite thing about Elliot Lee? You can't pick one thing about Elliot Lee. He's the best. I love Elliot.
What about if the season starts in like 3 weeks? This is just like more of a joke, not like I have no idea what happened. Which Empire is coming back way out of shape? Like the most likely to come back in terrible shape.
It's got to be Jack. It's just got to be Jack. He, I love Jack. He's down in whichever Carolina he came from, but he's putting up shots on the basketball hoop. I know. I don't know how much other stuff he's doing, but Jack's always been a guy that plays sports. I mean, me too. It honestly could be me. I love playing sports to condition myself for Ultimate. I love playing Ultimate to condition myself for Ultimate. I'm not a track guy. Jack's not a track guy. So this whole break from team sports has really hurt me, and I assume hurt Jack as well.
Interesting. Okay, and we have a question down here. If there's a club season, who are you playing for, and why is it dig for both of you? Travis, I'll play dig if Ben Katz plays. If Ben Katz plays dig, I'll do it. So, Ben, why don't you come home? A homecoming. Ben is from Somerville, Massachusetts, and loves Boston way more than New York. Big Boston sports fan. I think it would be a fitting career arc to play together. You know, one last time, maybe.
What do you mean one last time? What do you say? You only got a year left? You know, we're both. I hate to bring up cricket again because he's going to get a big head, but we're both looking at him at 40, still doing his thing, and we're getting to there. Is our goal, I imagine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But would you be like a little jealous that I get to play with cricket and you don't get to play with cricket?
Yeah, it might be. Although weirdly enough, at this point, I'm in more of a cricket role, so playing with cricket would just reduce playing time for me, which wouldn't be great.
I don't know. Cricket's never going to play D-line, so if you keep carving out your space as a D-line player, you're not going to put cricket on defense.
I prefer to play O-line.
I know. All right, good to know. But let's see. All right. Any last comments or thoughts before we see anything? You think we're going to play this year? You think there's going to be like a funny tournament, or is that just purely a speculation guess?
I sure hope we play. It'll be really hard to go for a season without playing. I think there's a shot. I have no idea what's going to happen with the whole pandemic, and I don't know how. It seems like they're trying to get sports back into being able to function. I don't know how the AUDL fits into that, but I would be very disappointed if we don't play at all.
That'd be weird. It's wild. It's like it's starting to get warm here, at least, and it's just like, all right, it's time to play.
Time to go out. Time to play.
Rest the body for a year. What's that, Charlie? Okay, yeah, I think that's it for me. Ben, it was great to see you again. Let's stay in touch. And everybody, thanks for checking out this game. We appreciate the questions and the comments, and we hope you enjoyed this. Ultiworld's got a bunch more coming up, so subscribe here and stay tuned for some more Ultimate.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Every time we press the license, we play better. An Ultiworld subscription gets you closer to the players and personalities you care about with game video, in-depth written and video analysis.
He's going to take off deep, but what he does is very simple.
Documentary shorts.
And we've played Brute Squad before, and it just feels a little bit harder to lose this year.
And a whole lot more. To get your subscription or learn more, go to ultiworld.com/subscribe.